For centuries, the great biblical figures, Moses, Solomon, David, have been painted with European features, draped in Renaissance robes and imagined with pale skin. But what if we've been looking at them through the wrong lens? What if the greatest cover-up in biblical history is not about lost scrolls or hidden codes, but about identity? Scholars, archaeologists, and Afrocentric historians are slowly peeling back the layers of whitewashed theology to reveal a startling truth. Moses and Solomon were black, not metaphorically, literally. Their skin was dark, their lineage African, their world far removed from the European imagination that hijacked it. Start with geography. The Bible was born in Africa and the Middle East, not Europe. Moses was born in Egypt, raised in the royal courts of Pharaoh. Egypt, the northeastern crown of Africa, was a black African civilization for millennia. Its dynasties rose long before Rome or Greece ever existed. To depict Moses as a pale man with a British accent is not just inaccurate, it's absurd. He lived among Cushites, married a Midianite woman, and led the Israelites out of Africa, not Europe. His skin would have blended in with the sun-kissed faces of the Nile Valley, not stood out. Even the Bible acknowledges this African presence. In Numbers 12.1, Moses' sister Miriam criticizes him for marrying a Cushite woman. Cush, or Kush, was an ancient black civilization located in modern-day Sudan. God's response? He strikes Miriam with leprosy, turning her skin as white as snow as a punishment. The implication is unmistakable. Whiteness is used here as a curse, not a default. And Moses, the man God spoke to face, was in harmony with the African world around him. Now consider Solomon, the wise king of Israel. His mother, Bathsheba, was married to Uriah the Hittite, descendants of Canaanites with roots in North Africa. Solomon's kingdom had trade alliances with Sheba, Ophir, and Punt, regions believed by historians to be in Ethiopia, Eritrea, and southern Arabia. The Queen of Sheba, who visited Solomon and tested his wisdom, is described in Ethiopian and Arab traditions as a dark-skinned African queen known as Makeda. Their legendary union is still celebrated in Ethiopian royal lineage, claiming descent from their son, Menelik I. Early Christianity itself was deeply African. The first places where Christianity took root were Ethiopia, Egypt, Nubia, and Carthage. The early church fathers, Origen, Tertullian, Athanasius, Augustine, many were African. Long before Christianity reached the cold cathedrals of Europe, it thrived under the hot sun of Africa. Yet, as colonialism spread, the image of Christ and his prophets were repackaged to resemble the colonizers. It was a theological conquest. To control the image of the divine was to justify domination over those who no longer looked like God. The whitening of biblical figures was deliberate. In European art and colonial Bibles, Moses became Michelangelo's European patriarch. Solomon, the African king of wisdom, was reimagined as a Mediterranean scholar. The blackness of the Bible was erased from Sunday schools, pulpits, and textbooks, but the cracks in that narrative are now growing. Scholars like Dr. Yosef Ben Jochanan, Dr. John Henrik Clarke, and others have spent decades reassembling the puzzle, exposing how race and power shaped biblical interpretation. Why does it matter? Because image is power. When you remove blackness from sacred history, you steal a people's spiritual birthright. You make them foreign to the very stories that once belonged to them. reclaiming the true identities of Moses. And Solomon isn't about exclusion, it's about restoration. It's about telling the truth that was buried under centuries of European supremacy. It's about helping generations of black children see themselves in the mirror of the divine, not just in the margins of history. The truth has always been there, hidden in plain sight. In the skin tones of the people, the lands they walked, the names they bore. Moses led his people out of bondage in Africa. Solomon ruled over a kingdom built on African alliances and wisdom. They were black, and that matters. The Bible's biggest secret isn't a conspiracy theory, it's a forgotten history, buried not by time, but by design. And now, the world is finally ready to remember.